there's a creator who started not long before me, who's now on a couple 100,000 subscribers, but it just now I've got to a point where it just doesn't bother me at all. And I'm actually happy that other people are doing well. It shows that if you put in the hard work, you can do well. But I understand that it's people look at that and think, what's the point? I'm doing this, not getting anywhere. This guy's doing so well. What's the point? And that's the attitude that a lot of people have that makes it difficult for them to keep making the content.
But how do you actually get rid of that feeling? Because it's so natural to so many of us. What is running through your mind to block out that feeling?
So I would say one of the main things is going back to the reason that you do it in the first place and the benefit you get from it. So the benefit you get from that as a creative output is good, in my opinion. Like, I enjoy the process of making these things, and I already have gained things from doing it. I've gained skills, I've made friends, I've done other things that are not necessarily gaining subscribers. That's the first thing. And the second thing is, you can look at the person that has got 100 times the number of subscribers you have in the same period of time. But what about the people that have not grown as fast? In that you always will focus on that person that's doing much better, but not consider that people are working just as hard as you who are not doing as well. So it's trying to have a bit more of a balanced picture, and then also trying to appreciate other things that are not necessarily that one metric of success.
Yeah. And hopefully things that you can actually have control over, which is what you said.
How would you get over that? Because you talk about this a little bit as well. What would you say about getting over that in particular?
Comparison.
Yeah. So comparing yourself to someone.
Yeah. So the one thing I say very often is that I very heavily focus on the people that benefit from my work. So I know that even if there are 3 people benefiting from my work, I need to be happy about that. And by constantly focusing on 3, 10, 20 people that like what I do, and also it changes their lives in some very small way, that's enough. And the point is to keep focusing on that so that your mind doesn't sway to someone else that's helping 100,000 people. And I think my mind still sways sometimes from time to time, but again, it's all about knowing what to look at, not about knowing what not to look at. Like you can't prevent looking away, but you can keep focusing on the few people. So that's kind of how I do it. And even with these podcasts, there's the number one priority here for me is to learn something from you, because that's what I can control. If no one listens to this or no one sees this video, I gain something from it when I end the recording. I'm done. I start my day. I'm happy with this video. So that's number one priority. Number 2 is having one other person gain from something that you've talked about, or I've talked about today. And I'm quite sure one other person would gain. And that's how I build it up, because that's the only things I can control.